to our lesson on Bedmas. So as you may know, when two or more operations are carried out, different answers can result depending on the order in which those operations are performed. For example, if you did 16 minus 10 divided by 2, if you did 16 minus 10 is 6 divided by 2 is 3, or you can do 16 minus 10 divided by 2 as 10 divided by 2 is 5, and then 16 minus 5 is 11. So one way you get an answer of 3, the other way you get an answer of 11. Which one is correct? The correct answer is 11 because you always do your division before your subtraction. And to avoid this problem, a set of rules for the order of operations has been agreed upon by all mathematicians. Rules for the order of operations. You perform the operations within brackets first. Okay? So then you calculate any part involving exponents. Then, starting from the left, perform all division and multiplications as you come to them. Finally, working from left, perform all addition and subtractions. And the word Bedmas may help do this, right? So you've got B, E, D, M, A, S. Just because it goes DM doesn't mean you have to do division first. And just because it goes AS doesn't mean you have to do addition first. So you read from left to right. If multiplication comes before division, then you do the multiplication first. So here's some examples. This is a very simple example here. So 35 minus 10 divided by 2 times 5 plus 3. So what do we have to do first? According to Bedmas, we have to do this first, the 10 divided by the 2. So we do 10 divided by 2 and you get 5. Then you have 35 minus 5 times 5 plus 3. What do we do next? We do the multiplication. 5 times 5 is 25. 35 minus 25 plus 3. Then we go from left to right. So 35 minus 25 is 10, plus 3 is 13. So very, very simple. When you're dealing with brackets, so even though there's a multiplication here, you would normally go from left to right, so you would make sense that you would do this first. But because there's brackets, you always take care of the brackets first. And once you go inside the brackets act as its own individual equation. So again, you follow Bedmas. So if there was exponents within the brackets and multiplication within brackets, or even brackets within brackets, it's still, you follow it that way. So in this case, we would do the multiplication first, which is 18, and then the 18 minus 4, which is 14. Then you have 2 times 14 plus 7. 2 times 14 is 28, plus 7 is 35. Inside the brackets, you treat like Bedmas all by itself and follow the same rules. And then once the brackets have been solved, then you go back to this simple explanation again. When you have exponents, so now you have brackets and exponents. So the first thing we do, because brackets comes first, is you solve the brackets first. So 6 minus 2 is 4. So you have 6 minus 2 is 4, and then the 4 is squared. 4 times 4 is 16. 3 times 16 is 48. Okay. So what happens if we have more than one bracket? So this is brackets inside brackets. So again, like I mentioned in the last slide, we treat it as Bedmas. So inside this set of brackets, you always do the brackets first. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. And then you're left with 13 minus 2 is 11. And then again, you solve it as normal. Fraction lines are a little bit different. The division line, which is this line right here, on a fraction behaves like a set of brackets. Okay, this means that the numerator and the denominator must each be found before doing the division. So what that means is that you have to completely solve what's on top and completely solve what's on bottom before you can do that final division. All right, so in this case we have brackets, so 4 minus 2 is 2, 16 minus 2 is 14, and on the bottom we have 3 plus 4 is 7. 14 divided by 7 is 2, which leaves you with 14 divided by 2 equals 7. So it's pretty straightforward. So just keep in mind that, and remembering your Bedmas, and that once you deal with brackets, if you have more than one bracket, you're dealing with Bedmas within that bracket as well, and everything should be good. And also remember to go from left to right. The biggest mistake made is to do all the division and then do all the multiplication when you don't have to. You're reading it like a book, so just do it in order as long as you're following Bedmas. All right, we'll be working on this more in class, and we'll see you next time.